on Twitch. I'm a Twitch streamer on Twitch, that's right. I stream variety. I play No Man's Sky, Slay the Spire, a lot of Slay the Spire, Divinity Original Sin 2, Apex Legends, Hades, Dead Cells. I love plenty of games, but in particular here, we are going to focus on a particular kind of game, the ARPG. I love to play. I started probably with Titan Quest, I think, and then I played Diablo 3, and then I sank 2,500 hours in Path of Exile and a lot of currency. And then I played Grim Dawn, and then we discovered this little game in beta called Last Epoch. Last Epoch. And we're going to talk about Last Epoch and the first build I am currently doing. It's a work in progress, and I will make videos as it goes for this experience. Quickly, shortly, if you like what you see, I encourage you to support me. Follow the YouTube video. It's right there. It's below, right there, over there. There's a button. You can follow, like, why not, or comment. I will read every comment, and I'm sure I will love what you have to say about my YouTube video. I would love feedback. Of course, I'm starting. So, Last Epoch is a game that is in beta. I have played earlier two characters. I started with the first one, which was a marksman multi-shot. I followed a guide by someone called Boardsman. He's a personality in the Last Epoch community. And then I did an unethical character called Werebear Earthquake. I followed a guide by another guy who's called Binas Hall, and yes, Binas Hall, and I really loved the game. I sank 100 hours in a row, and then I farmed a lot because Werebear was really unethical, and I could do all the content I wanted, and I could farm a lot, and I burnt out. Story's not over. I played other games, I started to stream again, I came back, and I met some people who played Last Epoch. I mentioned, special mention to Vision GL, who's also a streamer on Twitch, and he told me, yeah, there's a new patch coming, and yeah. So I thought, let's start again when the last patch dropped. New patch drop. Here we are. I asked on Last Epoch Discord channel what class is going to be the most interesting, the meta, where we will have the most fun to play, which character, which class should I choose. And they also said in concert all together, Sentinel. I'm going to play Sentinel. And I checked at the gear of what I have for the Sentinel. I went actually the day of the patch before starting, and I quickly went to check in my gear. Hey, what do we have here that actually fits the Sentinel stuff? And I heard one thing. Very crucial thing. Someone told me, Vision GL told me, Timerot is getting a buff. You can now stack it 12 times. And it might be interesting. So I said, okay, let's go Timerot and see. And I figured out I have this set of the Forgotten Knight. So I started to build around this. I said, okay, let's apply Timerot dot damage over time and focus on void damage, melee void damage. So I started, before the patch. I said, oh, okay, let's try with the pole arm. Maybe javelin is going to be the thing. So I started with the pole arm. And then because you cannot equip this when you level 2. So I started with the pole arm and several starting items which you might find here. And quickly we built toward what I have now. I just skipped the leveling section. Basically, what is important to know is that I realized Warpath was the build. This Warpath, Whirlwinds, whatever it's called in every game, was the way I wanted to go. Just spin and kill and just go around. So currently I am now in the monolith section. I'm at the end of time. I have done the campaign until Act 9, and I'm doing all the monoliths, and I have the 3 last monoliths to do before going to empowered monoliths. I will say that it was not easy, it was not smooth. I do not know a lot of things. I do not know about how to defend or how to build your defense, how to scale your damage. So you have to take that into account. I am not a god gamer at last epoch yet. So we will start with the passive here. I didn't prepare this. I will go yeah. I will just go together with you. We built towards Warpath here. So as overwhelm as physical damage to your melee attacks and increase your chance to stun. As physical damage is then converted to void damage. So I was like, okay, let's go physical damage. At the beginning you have physical damage only, so let's go for that. I put then I went here and increased damage 25%. Oh, that's good. Movement speed is everything for me. I come from Path of Exile. Yeah, movement speed is everything. You want to clear the fastest as possible, so I put 5 points here. Adds armor and reduce the damage you take. Adds armor and reduce the damage you take from nearby enemies. Okay, you use Warpath, you always nearby enemies, so your damage taken from nearby enemies is reduced. And then you have armor. It's very 5-head. You don't need a high IQ to understand this is good in some sort of way. So I added a lot of point in vitality and increased health regen. After a point, when you arrive here, when you have achieved a certain amount of points, you can choose your class. And I went to Void Knight. I went to Void Knight because Warpath is dealing void. Well, my version of Warpath is going to deal Timerot damage. Yeah, it's Timerot is a damage over time damage. It's a damage based using void damage, which is a particular element next to necrotic and all the elements and the physical. So it's void damage, like the element of darkness, if you will. And so I put here 5 point in temporal corruption because yeah, it added void damage. And I started to use smite at this point because actually it transforms smite damage into void damage. So I thought, let's try it. So I tried for a little bit until I realized I never use smite. Just as I might change that then in the future, actually, now that I look at it. But you have void damage plus 10 here, which it's 10 void damage flat. It's flat, important to mention. So I put 9 points here. I put actually 5 points, and then I went back and added 4 more points. But now I have 9 points. It's increased physical damage, increased void damage. It goes with Warpath. The void, the Timerot damage is void. Yeah, so you actually augment both your Warpath damage and your damage over time. So it's let's go. Node, your critical strike deal more damage for each passive point you have invested in the Void Knight tree. So this augments for each point you get 1 critical strike per point you put in this tree, which I realize now with you guys. I am learning with you, so you get a lot of critical strike here. So it's just 1 point investment. If you go there, it's worth it if you go critical. Melee void damage here is like super easy. It's melee void damage. Is your Warpath is doing Warpath is doing void damage. So let's go. And all right, we have the basic here. We have the core. Yeah. I put 6 points in Rod Ripples. Your Time Rod inflicts lasts longer, and whenever you kill an enemy afflicted with Time Rod, nearby enemies have a chance to be inflicted with Time Rod. The enemies come in pack. You inflict one Time Rod on one, you kill him, and boom, whoop, it spreads. Basically, what happens is that you hit one, whoever, you go in the pack, everything dies immediately. So that's what happens. I will show you. Um, and then let's go quickly on the last point. You deal increased melee damage. Here I put a few points. You deal increased melee damage and you have increased armor and void damage if you have killed an enemy with a melee attack recently. You always kill enemies with a melee attack. You use Warpath. It's happening permanently. So you have 28% increased melee damage when you add 4 points. And you have increased void damage on melee kill 20% as well. And your armor is also growing for 20% every time you kill a mob. So that's constant while you're going through monolith and farming. It's not happening at the boss, but it's working as you're farming. So I put some points here in Timerot. I will tell you why. It's only 3, yeah, because I've put only 3 points. It's going to change. I will put more. I put one more actually, as a matter of fact. But I've put only 4. Because here, I will jump here. You have increased melee attack speed, and your melee attacks have a chance to inflict enemies with Time Rot, which means I maxed this out. I have 20% chance on every hit to inflict Time Rot. If you look at the speed here, of where do we have the dummy? Look at the speed, how it hits. Every hit, you have 30% chance. Okay? So that means you can stack 12 times. Okay, this node by itself adds 30%, 20% chance hit per hit. This by itself. So I actually augmented this first. And then I came back here later on, and now I'm building and adding melee time rod chance 40%. Now it's going like it's ridiculous. Every time you have one chance out of 2 to add more, even to add time rod. You want to stack 12 times the thing. Okay. So then this allowed you to access increased void damage by 100%. Your void damage, which is the time rod damage, is increased by 100%. That's double. Double. 4 times here. You double it. Here you come to things that are weird. You have a chance to gain a void essence on kill. So when you kill, you gain void essence, and void essence apparently lasts 7 seconds and grant 50% increased void damage. So void essence probably a buff. Yeah, which you can stack 3 times, and then each stack grant 15 percent increased void damage. So you get against 45 increased void damage when you have the 3 void essence stacked, and then yeah, you have increased melee damage and reduced direction, reduced stun duration. So this is big, and when you have the 3 stack, that's very helpful. Actually, when you have the 3 stack of Void Essence, when you drop at 0 mana, you jump right away to 20% mana. My build is actually consuming a lot of mana, so that might be actually useful once in a while. So we'll go not to the last node, but the one before the last node. So whenever the Void Flux, I put the point, and whenever damage reduces your health below 20%, you send all nearby enemies forward in time for 4 seconds. When enemies hit you and hit you below and bring you to your health below 20%, they just are teleported away, or they just move. I don't know what this is. But when they hit you too hard, they are moved. I don't know. I will know better one day, and maybe on the next video we will explain this better. And finally, when I was playing my Void Knight, I was having a lot of. I was killing everything. Everything was dying, and slowly, as I went on the monolith, and climbed the monolith, I was they're getting harder to kill, and as they got harder to kill, they were dealing damage to me, and I didn't know have all my res. I didn't have critical strike avoidance. I didn't have armor. Didn't have block. Didn't have any defense layer. So I started to put points in World Eater, which gives you leech, health leech on melee damage and void damage both. So this is yeah, this is important. I added it last, so I would recommend you to add the points as you go. When you start to feel like you're getting damage, just add the points here as you progress and you feel like if you die once, then start to put the points, I suppose, or something like that. This is, by the way, not a hardcore build. Huh? Don't go hardcore with my build and then come back to me and say, hey, it's not working. I play softcore. So this is the passive tree. So as you go with the passive tree, for all the noobs like me, you unlock skills on the Void Knight here. If you go Paladin, you unlock these skills. If you go Forge Guard, you unlock those. And I don't know any of those. I only know Void Knight because I'm doing this now. And you lock Volatile Reversal, Abyssal Echo, Devouring Orb, and Anomaly. Okay, I'm using as a main skill Warpath. Yeah, it's a spinning skill. It scales with physical, melee, and strength with channels and avoid. So this is the tree I have. I invested first of all 5 points in Unchained. So 5 points are necessary to have your Warpath cost 0 mana. Yeah, I don't know why it used 1 at the beginning mana, but yeah, this way it costs 0. You need to invest 5. That is essential. I started, if you invest 2, you unlock the path to Reckless Spin, and then you have a channel cost -6. So you need to, this way you can invest actually 3 less point and just 1 point, just 2 in here and 1 here, and then it costs 0 also as well, but you have a malus here. You have a problem. It's because it removes 30% elemental res, and when you're leveling, it doesn't matter. You just don't get hit when you're leveling, but as you go into the more difficult content, the 30 elemental res becomes unacceptable. So you need to remove this point if you invest this, just to have it cost 0 and just put 2 points as soon as possible, and put 5 points here so that your Warpath doesn't cost anything. And hey Sentinel, I'm doing a YouTube video here, so allow me. But hi, welcome. Oh my God, did you? Oh no, I thought you had the first flag. I thought you subbed. So so then I put, yeah, let's go how to say that. No, I think I'll explain. Yeah, I put 3 points here for melee void damage. Yeah, the Warpath, so it has additional void damage. I actually wanted to access this tree to go towards the Abyssal Temple, and more importantly to Timerot here. So I just put points here to add void damage, and I was using, when you're leveling as the start, you use a two-hander, so you can go with that. And then I went to Eco Knight because to go there you have to use it, and you have a chance to Eco Warpath. It's happening quite often actually. You see the double, the up, the eco. You got another one. It's happening very often because you also have more chance to eco with the other trees. So that's for the Eco Knight. It's very powerful and it's fun. Apocalypse World has a chance to inflict Timerot. This is where you start to get into the big thing. So that's the first thing you need to go to. This here, you start to go to, you put one point here, immediately pop, you got 30% Timerot chance on every hit. Every hit 30% Timerot. You can stack up to 12, and there you go. And then finally you arrive here, 3 points added here, hit damage per time rot plus 15%. So basically, what it does is that Warpath damage actually hits harder on on mobs, on enemies who have time rot added on them. If they have time rot, which is basically always, yeah, you have multiplicative damage added to your Warpath skill, to your whirlwind, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is the first branch I really would recommend after or during as you're making your Warpath cost 0. This is basically the right side that I went for. And then here is a very nice thing to add. Here you have, I just put 1 point, but when you're spinning, you can go faster. I would, this is something, yeah, you do as you want, but I just put 1 point. And then here we get to something interesting as well. Gorebringer gives you a bleed. Bleed. It gives you a chance to bleed on enemies you hit, 30% and the 15% bleed duration. The trick here, and it goes also with here, bleed is turned into ignite. Yeah. The thing is here you will see subsequently bleed and ignite chance from all sources are converted to time rot, and effects related to bleed or ignite now depend on time rot instead. Basically, the modifiers, the bleed and ignite modifiers, are converted into time rot modifiers. What is multiplied into bleed or fire? You do the same multiplication, but towards the void damage of time rot damage over time. Yeah. So this basically 30% bleed chance means 30% time rot chance or time rot duration. Yeah. And same is here, because here this is a point, it doesn't really matter, it turns bleed into ignite, so to us it doesn't do anything. But this, it brings us to path of fire, which is very useful because it leaves a trail behind you. You see this green path, there's a green void behind me. This behind me. There's a, because the skill here is initially a path of fire, it's normally fire, but it says if ignite has been converted to time rot, which it is, with Apocalypse Whirl, which is right here. Apocalypse Whirl, the conversion from bleed to ignite and ignite to time rot is happening, so the trail is converted to void instead. So we have a trail of void, and he hits everybody behind us, so it allows us to go as we play. Everybody dies behind us, so basically you kill, you just go through your enemies when you farm, and they die behind you because they have the damage over time, and the trail is there, and they follow you actually, and they die as they follow you. So that is for the Warpath tree. Ooh, Mr. Sentinel is gifting a tier sub to Musa-chan's community. They've gifted a total of 1 in the channel. Wow, and he gifted it to Shaori. Shaori, you're lucky. You got your first tier 1 sub. How come, Sentinel? You don't have a sub yourself? Do you have a sub yourself? You're a mod, but you elected to gift it. It was an accident. You wanted to give it to. You thought you gifted to me, but you cannot gift it to me because you cannot gift me. I'm the streamer here. Excuse me. I have a Sentinel. He's a mod. He doesn't know what he's doing, but we have mods. We know what they're doing. No worries, guys. We have everything under control. He says he has no idea how Twitch works. He's one of my mods. We will cut that of the YouTube video. Clop, clop. Okay. So we carry on with lunge. Lunge is our movement skill, and so lunge dash to a nearby enemy and strike it with your weapon. So the most important thing for me to know what I really is you cannot lunge. Yeah, you cannot lunge just like this. It's not like a dash. You need to have an enemy like this. You need to have an enemy to actually lunge him. I don't know how it translates in French, but yeah, you actually yeah, this is a lunge. You need an enemy to move towards, and so this is a movement skill that has this little technical. It's not necessarily a problem. It's the way it works. That's the skill. So how I build the skill here. Is that I started here. I started because I first considered the most important thing was to use it as a utility skill because I wanted to control. I thought Warpath is going to be my damage skill, so I'm going to put some points here in disarming blow, maximum frailty chance. When you hit lunge, for the final hit, when you hit the enemy, you jump towards the enemy, you apply frailty, which actually cause the enemy to deal 6% less damage per stack, and it can stack up to 3 times. So you give 18% less damage if you stack it 3 times. But lunge actually, when you hit, you actually hit once, so it's a little bit dumb. Yeah, you don't often dash 3 times the same enemy, but you have a maximum frailty chance of 300%, and you apply frailty. So yeah, and it also, when you go for impairing strike, I just put you immobilize, you freeze enemies for 2 seconds with the 2 points. You can add more. You can add more here. I change here, for instance, here in don't charge, we'll go towards this direction here. No, we'll go first here. Oh, I put 3 points here, very essential in my opinion. It's because it removes the cooldown reduction. The cooldown is quite long on this skill, on the lunge skill. So when you see, I have to wait before I can do it again. Yeah, that's. I mean, for a movement skill, it's essential to have it as up as much as possible. So this is yeah. So I put 3 points in Warriors Renewal. Then I went here. So that's where I was saying you can put less point in Don't Charge if you wish to do so. You can. Minimum is 2 points to access the next node, and with this you regain the percentage of your missing health when you use Lunge. As I go, actually, as I went, if I had to respect now, I would remove these points because that's not the way you heal really, by doing Lunge. But I would put them in immobilization or maybe something else right now. But we put 4 points in here to regain 30% of your health, and so don't charge. And um, it allowed you to go. It allows you to go here as soon as you have put a point here. You have a high chance to block while lunging. When you use the items that I use, the set, you have a shield, so you have block. So the lunge here is good with the Juggernaut dash. And then you access finally Unstoppable here when you have invested 4 points, making you invulnerable when you're lunging. You're invincible when you lunge. So that's actually quite big, in fact. It allows you to go through some very high damage areas sometimes in arenas or such. And now here, very not very important, but Lunge now hits all enemies along its path to your target, and that will close the Lunge section. We have 3 more skills to go to, and then I will show you the some gameplay. So allow me some time. So Volatile Reversal, we will come to it later. We will start with the Devouring Orb. So Devouring Orb is a skill. This is the skill here. I've put it. This is the Devouring Orb around you. Um, Guys, if you want to autocast, you have to look it up. How to autocast in the last Epoch. Yeah, because it is not part of the game, and there's a little YouTube video by Boardman again, who explains how to do it. You bind your skill on the numlock, and then you can set in on autocast, so that you never ever have to press the button again while you're playing. Every time you go out of the game, you have to set it up again, but it takes you like half a second, so it's no problem. So, Devouring Orb is a skill that allows you to run around and not even cast Warpath. It does a lot of damage and is very practical and convenient. It does eat mana. It does eat mana because when you casting Warpath, every time okay, well, never mind. I was gonna say something, but I was wrong. Yeah. You deal increased damage. We will go. Wait, I started with this below, to be honest. So I will start below, explain and read and explain to you my reasoning, if there is any. So Devouring Orb, let's go together. It deals 1k, 10k damage, 9k damage at the cost of 17 mana, and on a 4-second cooldown. It scales with Void Spell and Vitality. So Devouring Orb creates these orbs at the target location, and well, with the skill, it just target. With this skill, actually, it orbits you, yeah, or instead of going to the target. So we will not consider the fact that it's where you target it, and um, it casts a Void Rift whenever something dies nearby. There's a Void Rift appearing around them, and then it deals void damage to enemies also around the orb, so around the orbs that are orbiting you. Each successive rift has 12% increased damage and area of effect. Actually, I'm learning with you as I do the YouTube videos, so this is great. And okay, so these are orbs. They deal damage, void damage, and they splash when they kill. Okay, so this your point in Dark Moon allows you to have the orbs orbiting you and they turn around you. It unfortunately multiplies the damage, the mana cost. I mean, by 300%, and that hurts. That hurts your mana quite a lot. Let me get a little bit of water. My throat is aching. Okay, sorry. So yeah, it has a few a few negative effects. Apparently, you have minus 50% damage on Void Rift and minus 30% of Void Rift area. But I suppose that's the Void Rift from the Devouring Orbs, because they are just happening so often around you that if they were like at the maximum damage, it would be just overpowered. So that's a way, I suppose, they they diminished this orb's power. It was probably overpowered before. So that's big. I put the 2 points immediately in there. You have increased movement speed while Devouring Orb is active. As you can see, it is active all the time. So yeah, just remember to autocast all the time, every time you start gaming. So Cosmic Impact, it deals void damage now when it hits, but it costs again more mana. But yeah, we'll accept it. We accept it actually. But finally, you arrive in this node, and you can actually reduce the mana. It has mana efficiency by multiplied by 150%. So you have basically, I think that means that it costs 50% less mana than what it costs when you arrive here. So well, anyway, at the end it costs 17 per orb. So and it gives you also 35. That's important to fill up. So then we go here. You increase damage while the Devouring Orb is active. They are permanently active. So I went full potato and just put the 6 points here. And then I went here slowly. This was not like essential to me at first. I thought, okay, it lasts longer. You have a longer duration from the orbs, so they stay longer, which is convenient because you have more. You have quite a lot around you when you're playing. And then I put this point here, and I didn't know what it meant. I didn't realize the power of this. But every 3 seconds, Devouring Orb release an Abyssal Orb. So, with 6 enemies and detonates, dealing void damage in area. I'm not sure it works here with the dummy. Yeah, it doesn't really. But you see, it releases something that is static. There are static orbs around me. These are the abyssal orb. Wait, how is it called again? Yeah, the abyssal orbs, and they actually go towards the random enemies and go hit them. And that's quite cool because as you walk around, even the enemies you're not walking on, they're getting these abyssal orbs going towards them, and they detonate, dealing void damage, which is actually quite big actually here. And with the points here in Dark Torrent, the frequency of this homing missiles, these homing abyssal orbs, it's with 3 points added, you have 90% more frequency, so you nearly double the amounts of you're unleashing. So now I will finish with the two tactical skill, I would call them. The two utility skill which come with the Void Knight and that I discovered. Of course, Devouring Orb would be the first skill. This is the first skill from the Void Knight. But then we have Anomaly and Volatile Reversal, which are two really fun skills. So this is the I put an anomaly here. It has a time bubble, so it's quite easy to identify. Time bubble doesn't come immediately. You need to invest point in it, but I will show you now. So the anomaly here. This is the anomaly skill. Okay, the combo skill that first sends enemy forward in time by 5 seconds. So that's something it does. Yeah, it's it's funny. The combo skill that first sends enemies forward in time by 5 seconds. Reactivate the skill to bring those enemies back to your time early. So it's a little bit mechanically odd to play with, right? When you pick it up, because you hit the enemy and it sends them in time 5 seconds away. So basically they're just moving around when you click on them. Yeah, you click on them, the enemy, boom, it goes somewhere. It's just a time breach, if you will. And you start with that. It's funny to start when you just start with it. It just move away. You don't understand what's happening, and I still don't understand. It has a cooldown of 11 seconds, so you don't do it very often. The cooldown is long, but we invest points in it, and then here enemies hit by anomaly are afflicted with Timerot when they return with a 100% chance. So you put a stack of anomaly on them with this, and then I put immediately a point in immediacy. Immediacy, actually, it triggers everything instantly, so you do not have to bother about the time effect. What happens is that it triggers, it puts it puts on them the time rod effect, and that's it. And all the things that you put here, all the points that you will add to anomaly, will be applied instantly instead of being applied after you activate it the second time, after the way normally anomaly works if you don't invest in immediacy. So when you put a point here, you don't have to think about the mechanical aspect of Anomaly. You just apply it and it's done. So Void Touch, again, you apply Timerot once. A Timerot is more effective and lasts longer. This is really big. The Timerot duration applies 150%. Duration is 150% longer and has an effect of 50%. I do not know how this actually synergize and how it works with the Warpath, with the Timerot you apply from Warpath and from the Void Knight tree. I do not know how they affect each other. That's something I will need to do research later on for a following video, hopefully. Um, then when we put Mark of Wrath, I invested 5 points. When enemy return to the present, they increase void damage for a duration. They take increased void damage for a duration. So again, we have immediacy, so it applies immediately. You put the thing, you put the anomaly on them, and instantly they take 100% void damage for 100% more double damage for 5 seconds. Yeah, it's a must. It's a must. Um, Quicksand, when enemy return to the present, all damaging ailments currently applied to them apply faster. This is insane, yeah. Ailment speed on return. Oh, that's something on the other hand, that I don't have to think about the synergy with all the skills, with the passive skill and the passive skill tree and Warpath. This means that everything that is applied to them, and there's a lot of damage over time, is applied to them faster. Yeah, 125% faster. The dot is accelerating like at an incredible pace. Yeah, more than the double the speed. Yeah, so 125% speed. This is huge, and I cannot. Yeah, this is essential. Quicksand. When enemies return to the present, the duration of damage ailments applies to them is reset, meaning that all the Timerot you have, all the Timerot effect that you have applied, they're like still going on like halfway. Suddenly, boom, they have the 100% again. So they have all the duration of the Timerot. Imagine you have applied already half of it, and then suddenly you just apply Anomaly, doom, they get everything. They get everything again. Andrew Be More, the third subscriber today. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are doing a YouTube video, so I will come back at you as soon as possible because I want to focus on this YouTube video. I do it. We will throw it on YouTube as it is, so you will have your shout out also on YouTube. I will come back at you though. Thanks so much. Cycle of decay. So when enemies return, so yeah, I hope I've been clear. The all the damage over time that you have already started to apply on the enemy suddenly is full back again, and you apply everything with quicksand. It will also actually accelerate all this damage over time. This 12 stack of Timerot basically. They will be full back on with all their time up, and they will be compressed and accelerated on the enemy. And finally, I will. There's a point here to a shorter cooldown. That's just to have it. It's a very long cooldown. So I just put 1 point because I have that point left. And finally, I added the time bubble. The time bubble leaves a time bubble when you put the anomaly. It's very nice because visually you have this bubble, so you really see where they are. It's very convenient. It's practical, but under of being practical visually, it has a benefit because it slowed the enemy inside the bubble. They are slowed and they take increased void damage. I couldn't find at Google. Nobody knows what's the exact number of the increased void damage though. So this will need to be figured out through research and ultimately we will need to ask 11th hour game the developers to enlighten us with that time bubble, because in our case there are two things that are problematic to actually really theory craft this build. Is that the damage over time, the 12 stack, I am unable to tell when there are 12 stacks, because you apply with multiple ways on enemies Timerot damage over time, and there is no way to tell when you hit 12. So I would like to ask that to be added in the game, that to find a way to theory craft that in any way possible. And time bubble is also mysterious. We will finish with the last skill with Volatile Reversal. With again shout out to Vision GL, who has recommended to me. I had Smite before, and I told him I'm never using Smite. What should I put? What could I put in my skill bar? And he said Volatile Reversal is going in many Sentinel build. It's super fun. It's one of his favorite skill, and it goes well with void damage. So we went and put it on our bar, and guys, it is fun. Volatile Reversal is again a time-breaking skill. It is a very nice, well-designed skill that is that I don't find in Path of Exile, for instance, or Diablo or other games. So Volatile Reversal, I read what it is, what's on screen, returns you to the position you were at 2 seconds ago, reverting changes to your current health and mana since then. So you time travel, or you're at a point, you're fighting and you're losing your health and mana, you press Volatile Reversal, you go where you were 2 seconds ago with the mana and health you had at that time. So if you had sudden spike of a loss of health and mana, you go back in time, and I show you here. Yeah, you're there, boom, wrong button. Yeah, you go there, boom. Okay, it didn't really show well. I show you better after, when after the cooldown. But so let's see at the tree how we invested the points. I started here. I started here because okay, I put 2 points here in time stab. Volatile Reversal cooldown is partially restored when you kill an enemy with a skill. The cooldown is really long, as you saw. So here, I'm going up. I'm going backwards. I don't know if you could see it. You just jump behind, and okay, I'll try to make it clear here. So the cooldown is partially restored when you kill an enemy. When you're farming, you kill tons of enemies, and that allows you to have a more often time sap when you're farming. That's pretty obvious, I think. When you play the game, you'll see. Here it's very effective. These two nodes are very effective and they help a lot. But you have 30% global attack speed and cast speed. Well, for us, it's attack speed that matters after casting Volatile Reversal. So 30% attack speed on here, it's immense. Yeah, it's immense on the Warpath Whirlwind. So when you do that, you apply that as often as you can while you're playing. You have to be very careful when you apply it, because sometimes you're playing and you teleported 2 seconds ago, and then if you're playing with a boss, he might be hitting right here, right now, and you teleport yourself exactly where he's hitting. So you have to be careful with this Volatile Reversal. But yeah, you gain a lot of attack speed out of it. You gain movement speed here after 36%. Have fun lurking, Andrew. And then when you cast Volatile Reversal, you create a Void Rift where you arrive. when you cast Volatile Reversal, you create a Void Rift where you arrive. So yeah, the Void Rift are things that you apply, and it deals void damage in an area. You will see that this actually. So you create a volatile Void Rift here with this point, with 1 point here and 1 point here. So one of the point is here. Is where you come from. You deposit a void rift, and here is at the target. You deposit another void rift. Okay, so you have two void rift when you use a volatile reversal, and those void rifts with the 2 points have a chance to inflict time rot on enemies. Another source of time rot with a 50% chance on each of them. So you have two of them, and you have 50% chance added to this void rift to apply that on top of everything else, which is always good because this is our main source of damage. Here, then these two void rifts are augmented here with disintegration. It deals more damage with other modifiers. Void Rift deal more damage with other void with all the void damage. It's multiplied by 3. There are 2 points I have here to increase the chance of stun when you are using volatile reversal. My reasoning is that I use volatile reversal because you use it when you're in a challenging situation. You want to go back and get your health and mana back, so you're using it at let's say it's a panic button, and then the shifting power here will help you. Oh my god, nobody told me that my webcam is hiding nods. Okay, so okay, so yeah, I put 2 points in stun. The increased stun, 80% stun chance. It's a lot on mobs, but it doesn't apply to boss. This, I think, doesn't apply to boss. I've never seen a stun boss ever. So there may be some are, but yeah. So I mean, very very rarely do you have problem with ads with this build. So I would. It's just up to you guys if you want to put these 2 points and away and put them in disintegration and have the void rifts damage modifier multiplied even further to, I think, 100% instead of 66. I think that's the way to go, but yeah, I leave them here for now. And then enemies, we get the final point in time rifts because enemies hit by void rifts take increased damage over time for 4 seconds. Increased damage 60%. 60%. So yeah. So where you go from, and where you deposit your 2 void rifts, they take 60% extra damage over time. So that's 60% to all the time rot you have deposited on the enemy. It's 60% extra damage nearly overall. So just put these points there. That close all our skills. I'm sorry if it took so long. It's my first time explaining everything, and actually I had to remember everything with you at the same time. Now I'm going to show you the items I have equipped very briefly. I am once again, it's very important to understand. I am not a super god player. It's my third character. It's the first one I do by myself without following a guide of an experienced player. So I didn't take really in consideration that you have to build your resistance, your critical strike avoidance, your armor, and all your endurance, and the fact that you have stack health. That's super important before the damage. I went because when you come, you start, you want to damage everything, and that's what I went for. So now take that into account. I'm slowly changing, and it will be Mark 2 of this video. It will be my build Mark 2. I will when I improve, I will post the upgrade later on. But I explain quickly the items that I have. It's based so the Timerot, the build, the entire build is built upon this set item of the Forgotten Knight, which consists of an amulet, a shield, and a blade. Okay, so each item has increased void damage. Yeah, it's 60%, 40%, 40, like 30% melee void damage. It's insane. Okay, on the void damage, that's very simple to understand. Um, Okay, what's important also to realize, it's a one hand sword. So when you go on your passive tree, when you start, you have some nodes here that actually are multiplied and function with two handers. So you have to choose the right skills because of that. Okay, so these are the three set items, and yeah, the set bonus two first is increased void damage once again 50%, and finally the three set bonus is the increased time rot effect by 50%, which is yeah, which is why we build everything around time rot. The shield gives you 20% chance to apply Timerot on hit. Once again, it's another source. Just hitting applies Timerot with this, and yeah. I think I've explained it quite clearly. You get some hit as well. Okay, I have a very bad, if you see, that's something I'm ashamed of. The roll of increased void damage, you can have 30 to 70% here, and I have 30. I had the worst roll possible. It's an item you cannot gamble. You will have to farm and be lucky, get the set item. I do not know where it drops. I'll maybe tell it in the next video or in a comment. We will see. So this is the three set items. The next item I would mention would be the Siphon of Anguish, which allows you to apply. You have a 10 to 30% chance to apply Doom on hit, and it has a 10 to 30% increased Doom effect. To be honest, I have no idea what it is. Before this patch, people apparently Doom was a thing. Yeah. People told me, yeah, Doom hit like a truck. Doom's nice. Doom's what? Doom's this. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. There's so much damage going all over the place that I wouldn't be able to tell you what that is now anymore. So that ring gives you elemental resistance, and more importantly, it gives you a leech, a health leech on your melee and void damage, and that's added with the Void Knight Node World Eater here, 6% extra, makes you leech a lot. When there are tons of mobs, and you're healing very very fast as you go. Okay, and for the rest, it's items I will not really go to, because oh yeah, you have a 16% chance to apply Doom again on hit with these boots, Steaming Fate, Stinky Feet, and I will be replacing those boots. It's You have to build your resistance, and that's any player in Last Epoch knows that, and I am now a Last Epoch player, so I'm learning that. But that's the first thing you need to do, is build your resistance. Yeah. Your resistance are the first priority. You need to have resistance depending on the boss, depending on the mobs that will come with experience. You will know that this or that mob deal that sort of damage, and you need to cap as much as you can hear, as you can do here. The necrotic, for instance, here 0%. I'm a total noob. If there's a necrotic enemy and it has crit on top of that, for instance, one hit, I'm dead. Okay, because I do not have critical strike avoidance. That's another layer that is absolutely do something in priority. After resistance, you need to cap this as soon as possible. So this, with the Sentinel gear, you can have actually a helmet that gives you critical strike avoidance. You can have blessings that gives you critical strike avoidance. I think I got yeah, I got from the last one, because I'm not doing empowered, so it's the small one, but I got 38% critical strike avoidance here, which is right here. And you can have it on your helmet, you can have them also on your rings. But with the helmet, I believe, and the Grand Idol, which is empowered monolith, you can actually cap out without using the rings. So this is how you cap out your critical avoidance. Then you have to work on your endurance, which is a little bit complicated system in last epoch, which is when you go below a threshold, you have more resistance. You have more resilience when you go below a threshold. Endurance is a very effective layer of defense in last epoch. And lastly, as in every ARPG, you have to stack your health. Okay, your health is the last line of defense. I don't have to explain that to you. You have a certain amount. When it goes to 0, you die. Okay, after all this layer of defense, health is your bottle that you have to fill and make it big. Okay, after all this chat and talking, we can go to the game. Let's go to the Age of Winter. We're going to try to get cold resistance, so we're traveling there. So this is the moment. I hope I'm not going to die instantly. Let's play. Okay. Oh, this is the end game, huh? Monolith. That's where you play. Wow, my throat. It took a hit like talking like this. Okay, I put an anomaly here. It doubles the speed of unleashing the. So you see, I'm not using healing potions here, and when I hit enemies, my health is just not going below. So I might instantly die when there's necrotic damage. Okay, so okay, normally I would pick up some items maybe, but so basically what I do here, the goal here is to slay enemies, so I do kill them. You slay enemies to target your target. So to target here the Argos, the Blessed, I have to kill. I don't even stop at my enemies. I just go through them, and then they won't follow me. And we go to the target. So things die on your path here. They get the Timerot damage over time, and they won't die behind you. Where's Argolos? It's over there. So I forgot to enable. Here I enabled now autocast on the Devouring Orbs. So now the orbs are up. It's good I didn't have them from the beginning, so now I can now show the orbs. You see here, I don't even throw Warpath. Yeah, they die. They just die. Most of the small mobs anyway, they do. Okay, so yeah, mob down. So that's how it works. That's how it works. We'll do maybe 2 more monoliths, and then we'll close the YouTube video.
Stand down or die.
So we're lunging every time we can to do the. I'm not very super efficient in my opinion. I'm not really fast. I'm trying to be faster as I get more experience with the game. But yeah, I lunge as much as I can to teleport in time. I put the bubble whenever I can. And okay, so it's done already. And I'll show a last one. And then, yeah, I think maybe when I do a next video, I'll make sure there's a boss that we can that can show the build how it works as well, because here it's just regular mobs. So yeah, if something is not dying and you feel like you want when you're farming, you're like suddenly, oh, I want this mob to die immediately for whatever reason, because you want to kill it because it's ugly or anything, and it has a little bit of resilience. You just drop an anomaly or void reversal and it will die. It's just like boom, there, gone. It's over. If you need, and whenever, because just the warpath. Otherwise, the warpath and the orbs kill everything on the way. Anyway, like this. You want to die? You then die now. Okay. So that's how it plays, and I really like it. I really enjoy how it goes. I'm very. That's one of the greatness of last Epoch, is that you can make a build without having a PhD in theory crafting, and like Path of Exile, it can be something done rather easily, and it's very specific. It's not like the same all build like everyone does, like in Diablo 3, for instance. So this closed the YouTube video. This once again. Yeah, come check on my Twitch video. I stream every day, nearly every day on Twitch. Evening time in Europe. So you see when I'm in, it's nearly every day the same. If you like what you see, press the link, the like button on the YouTube. Show the support. I will love that. Make comments. I will read and respond. Any constructive comment will be yeah. I will love to read your reactions, and I hope you liked it. It was a little bit extensive. It's the first video I do on a build ever, and I have 2,500 again hours in Path of Exile. Like a stupid amount in Diablo 3 as well, and this is the first time I do that. So guys, just let me know how you like it. It will get better. and it's been a while. I will try to focus and be more active on YouTube, be more present, and give you more content and better content every time. So this is the first time, and I see you soon, guys. Thanks, and see you soon. Bye bye, YouTube.